Describe Kitten in 3 words. That's all I got. Suppose we should start off with the obvious. Where have I been? Yeah, I had to take care of a few life things, and I also kind of like the Fox network needed a hiatus from the X-Files, and it wasn't because of the Olympics. I barely watched the Olympics. Anyway, you might be wondering, why didn't I upload a recap of Kitten, the 6th episode of the X-Files? And that's because I literally just watched it. Yeah, Meghan the rabid X-Files fan was kind of Meghan the lazy X-Files fan, at least this time around. I am literally watching the 6th episode the night before the 7th episode airs. But I figured that that was kind of important to do before tomorrow, and yeah, now I'm gonna go back and finish The Good Place. Now, I know you guys want an actual recap. Okay, what to say about this episode? Well, did I like it? Did I dislike it? First, let's start with this. The premise of the episode, I think, is what a lot of people before it even aired had a problem with. The whole idea of a Skinner-centric episode. And I got really mad when people were like, oh, I don't want a Skinner-centric episode, because A, I think Skinner's a really good character. B, I think Mitch Pileggi's a really good actor. And C, I don't know, I just don't object to the concept of a Skinner-centric episode. Now I kind of get where people were coming from. Not because I've changed my mind on any of the things I just listed, but because I think it's too little too late. This episode belonged in, like, season 6 or season 5 or something, you know. That's where this episode really needed to be. Here, it's very strange because A, like, we don't have that many episodes of the X-Files left. B, like, that whole heartfelt speech at the end that Skinner tells Mulder and Scully, which I really liked on its own. Like, just if you took that out and, like, kind of played it on its own and considered it its own thing, it's really sweet and it's really heartfelt, and Mitch Pileggi does a good job, and it's very believable if you know what Mulder, Scully, and Skinner's dynamic is mostly. But remember, the sloppy ass season 11 premiere had Skinner's loyalty come into question. So did the next episode, and it's very weird to hear Skinner say something like that and not really know if he means it. And I want to believe that he means it, and I think so do Mulder and Scully, but that whole thing about him, you know, like, sitting in the car with a cigarette smoking man and not telling Mulder and Scully about it, basically going behind their backs, is never addressed by Skinner. By Mulder and Scully kind of address it a little bit, like Mulder says, look out for cigarette butts, but that's literally the only mention it gets. And it just made the dynamic very strange and very tainted for me. I don't know. I think Mulder, Scully, and Skinner, I think their dynamic works best when they're solidly with each other. You know, Skinner doing his sort of, like, caretaker, like, uncle, big brother type thing with Mulder and Scully, and always kind of having their backs, but sort of keeping his distance. That's where I think Skinner works best. That's not to say I want him to play a minimal role, because I think that one of season 10's weaknesses was that it didn't have enough Skinner in it. And that was certainly one of I Want to Believe's weaknesses. I mean, poor Mitch Pileggi, they must have, like, woken him up in the middle of the night. It was like, hey, you're gonna film, like, 3 scenes, and then we're gonna send you back home. Like, I don't like I Want to Believe, if you can't tell. That being said, I thought that the whole Monster of the Week aspect of the episode was, I thought it was good. I think Haley Joel Osment is a really, really, really good actor. And I thought the whole, like, animal traps type situation was, especially where Haley Joel Osment got impaled with the wooden spikes. That was some good, low-key horror X-Files, Death in the Woods type stuff that I thought was actually really like I could see that being in the original run. Mulder and Scully's investigation was okay for the most part, except for a few little investigative logical flaws that just kind of bothered me. Starting with the whole meeting in Kirsch's office. Kirsch? What? I mean, again, they probably woke... I'm sorry, I don't know the actor's name, but they probably woke him up in the middle of the night and was like, hey, you're gonna film this one scene and we're gonna pay you, like, however much they pay you for appearing in one scene of an episode, and then you're gonna go back home. Like, what is the point? It doesn't make sense, because Kirsch, like, helped Mulder and Scully escape, so wouldn't he have, like, at least lost his job? B, it's like that never even happened. He basically talks to Mulder and Scully like he did back in season 6 or whatever. And by the way, if Kirsch has so much disdain for them, and this is honestly, like, let's face it, if the FBI was really like it is in the X-Files, it would have, like, collapsed in on itself such a long time ago. Like, like, why would they keep the X-Files and Mulder and Scully around if they, like, obviously think they're, like, at best a nuisance? Like, whatever, that's just a pet peeve. It starts with that. That meeting in their office, Kirsch is like, you better get Skinner back. I mean, if you really were suspicious of Skinner, would you send the 2 agents that are closest to him and are most likely to cover up things he's done to find him? Or would you send, like, you know, objective and removed from the situation personally FBI agents to go find him? I don't know about you guys, but I might go with the second option. Second thing that bothered me is when Mulder and Scully, I specifically remember this, are at the computer and they're watching the footage from the deer camera or whatever. The sheriff, who, the actor who played him did a really good job. I, for some reason, found that small performance pretty compelling. So they are the 3 of them are looking at the footage, and they see Skinner. Scully kind of stupidly, sorry, I don't ever want to use the word stupid and Scully in the same sentence, but why would she just say that in front of the sheriff? I mean, come on, Scully, you know better than that. Like, she mentions it's Walter Skinner. The sheriff immediately puts an APB out. Then Mulder continues playing the footage, sees that there's obviously some weird-ass thing there, and then doesn't bring the sheriff back saying, hey, look what else is on the tape. He just is like, okay, bye, and they go in a car and drive away. Meanwhile, the sheriff is probably sending out every cop he can to look for Skinner and interfere with Mulder and Scully's investigation, which I guess because the writers didn't want it to, never actually happened. But let's face it, that's just a sign of a writing flaw. As far as all the Vietnam stuff goes, I thought it was good. I mean, it's no Apocalypse Now or anything, but the direction was excellent. And didn't a woman direct this? Great job. Proves that women can, like, do film things too, guys. The wood scenes were beautiful. This is probably the best cinematography I've seen this season. You know, like, I liked Ghoulie, but the cinematography was, like, kind of shit. Sorry, whoever did the cinematography on Ghoulie, but it was, like, not good. The cinematography was really good. But, anyway, let's see, what else? Scully wears a turtleneck. That was distracting. I will say no more. And Mulder wears a white t-shirt, which is a vice of mine. You know what? I really liked Mulder in this episode. He does this little, smart boy Mulder thing that I really like. I really like when Mulder is just kind of like, you obviously see that the gears are whirling and he's not really telling Scully what he's thinking, but you know that he's about to, like, nail it. I really like that Mulder. Other than that, if I were writing a review on my blog, I would probably give this episode a 6 out of 10. It's the 6 out of 10 episodes, and its rating's a 6 out of 10. Wow. What a coinky dink. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Like I said, I'm gonna go finish The Good Place, and try to get into the mood for tomorrow. I hear tomorrow is the wacky episode, and I'm really excited because I really like just weird, wacky stuff. But, I realize that may not be everyone, so we shall see. I will see you hopefully tomorrow. Hopefully I will actually do the recap on the day the episode airs. But who knows?